Number 4, and this is the first part of preparation for the silicone itself, where I see a lot of DIYers, and also, to be fair, quite a lot of tradesmen get this wrong as well. I say they get it wrong, this is my preference, and it is cutting the tip at the wrong angle. I don't know why I find that funny, but it really is, and also at the wrong size. We cut the tip according to the size of the gap that we're trying to fill. So if this was badly installed and we had a large gap here, we want to start thinking about how big do we want to make our tip to actually try and fill and bridge that gap and make sure that it's watertight. Hopefully you won't ever have to deal with anything like this, and if you were, I would actually recommend that you did this in 2 passes. So you have a bead of silicone that goes right in there, you leave that for 24 hours to seal, and then you put a larger bead over the top, your finishing decorative bead, to make sure that you've got a good watertight seal and that it looks nice. But today we're lucky, we're working on a perfectly installed little piece of tiles butted together in perfect harmony. That means I would be cutting my tip at a certain angle that works, okay? Number 1, sharp standing knife, right? Don't use one that's not sharp. So this, I'll cut it for you wrong, okay? This is how I wouldn't cut it. That for me is a 45-degree angle, and I always, personally, I struggle to get my silicone out in a way that I kind of like when it's at that angle. I don't really like that. I much prefer it to be a bit flatter. So it's more like that, okay? So that I'd say is about 30, not 45, all right? It's a little thing. I mean, tips are little, but hopefully these tips are going to change your life when it comes to siliconing, especially number 6 and 10. Yeah, and also if you've got any just furs on the end like that, sometimes I'll just sort of run my knife over the end of that to cut that off. We're kind of like ready to go. And there's another little sub tip that I want to put into this, and it's the type of gun that you use, especially if you're working in a difficult area where it's hard for you to get in or anything like that. We've got this type of gun here, comes all the way out. This arm comes all the way out. I haven't used it in a while. You can tell how popular I think these are. But basically that arm's going to come all the way out here, and it's kind of in our way when we're trying to do some silicone in, and it's just annoying. I don't use these anymore. Hate them. I much prefer these guns, so we can actually do everything without our gun getting bigger, longer, and therefore more cumbersome. All right, so that's another little tip. These guns also have a throw difference on them. So in this setting here, it's going quite a long way. You can see how far that's going like that. But then if you put it to there, it will be a shorter distance, all right? It's going just slightly shorter distance there, so we actually get less out and you've got more control over the bead, all right? So that's a little extra tip for you here. I'm just trying to get as many in as possible while you guys are watching, all right? So just don't go anywhere. We will be putting silicone on in a moment.